Hey there, what's up guys? It's Angie here. So I wanted to hop on for we're on day 13 because tomorrow is going to be day 14. So it'd be 2 weeks tomorrow, halfway through this 30-day challenge. So that'll be tomorrow. I will be hopping on tomorrow for tomorrow's very first Fat Loss for Real yoga class. So that is going to be a yin yoga practice that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I have shared that here in the group before. I have one class that I've been kind of cycling around, but I will be starting tomorrow doing weekly yin yoga classes. So you guys can look forward to that. That is a slow, deep stretch practice. It's not anything that's like rigorous or like intense that's going to have you like, like going crazy. I know when I was at 235 pounds, it was not like ideal for me to be like bouncing around and doing all kinds of crazy workouts. And I'm not in the habit of encouraging you guys to work out for the sake of weight loss. So all this practice is to focus on two things. It's one, to reduce your stress and to help your body to like just feel well, right? So you can feel better, and the more you feel better, the more you're gonna, feel more like taking care of yourself and getting to the things that really matter to you. So it's for that. And then the second thing is to practice what we're learning here in the 30-day challenge. Okay, it's actually pretty cool that when I was learning all of this stuff about like the stuff that I'm teaching you here with things like what we talked about, problematic weight loss efforts, and then things like what we're talking about this week, with avoidance, right? Experiential avoidance. And at the time when I was learning this, I had just learned about yin yoga. And the practice of yin yoga, the purpose of it is actually, well, it has two purposes. It's one, to give a deep stretch to your deep connective tissue, and that's all of like your tendons and ligaments. And it's also to go into the joints and the bones. So it's about going deep into the body, rather than just kind of working with the muscles and getting a little stretch here and there. It's about the deep stuff. And this is actually where we carry a lot of our stored like emotions and, all that kind of stuff, right? It's like a lot of our stress and is carried in our hips, right? And a lot of our emotional baggage is carried within our deep connective tissue. So yin yoga targets that, right? It helps to open up, and they talk about like in yin yoga, they talk about opening up the meridians, right? It's all these channels that run, energy channels that run through our body. And when we do the yin yoga practice, we spend time in those poses, right? So it's not like a traditional yoga class where you're moving from one pose to the next every like 5 breaths, right? You actually hold these poses, and they're gentle poses, but you can hold them from 1 to 5, even 10 minutes. But in my classes that we'll be doing here, we'll hold for 1 minute. And then you can on your own progress to like you can go from 1 minute to like 3 minutes to 5 minutes, depending on your level of comfort and flexibility with it. But so what that's going to do for you though is it's going to give you the practice of sitting with some discomfort, right? Willingly and with acceptance, sitting with the discomfort, because you do get uncomfortable when you're sitting even if you're just putting the soles of your feet together and then bowing forward, right? That's a common pose. Even if you're just doing that, your mind will start to tell you, I want to move. After, as a minute is going by, your mind's going to start talking and saying, I want to move, or I have an itch, or I have a twitch, or I have to, it's like there's always something that comes up, right? When we just try to sit still and be in the present moment. So that is why I wanted to incorporate that specific style of yoga into this challenge, is because it is actually directly giving you an experience. And everything that I'm teaching you here, guys, and that's why I've given you so many assignments to go with these, with the concepts that I'm bringing out, that I'm rolling out for you guys during these 4 weeks. The reason that I've been doing that is because the teachings of acceptance and commitment therapy is all about experience, right? And even like when they're using it like in the clinics and stuff, right? When therapists are using it in the clinics, psychologists, then they give exercises and experiences to be had so that the person is getting the firsthand experience of what is being taught, right? It's not about just sitting and explaining things. It's about you getting to experience whatever the concept or lesson is, experiencing it firsthand, right? So again, yoga is an excellent way to experience this stuff, to practice it, and to get kind of like an example of it, like right in your own experience, for you to understand what that practice is, right? Sitting with some discomfort willingly and with acceptance and all of that stuff. So it's a little ahead of where we're at, but not that far ahead for what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So what I wanted to get into, so that's about the yin yoga class, okay? That's really awesome stuff. That's another thing that I'm super passionate about, is yoga. And I'm actually a yoga teacher. I went and took yoga teacher training for 10 months, studied it, and got my little certificate. Sorry guys. But yeah, I got my little certificate, and so yeah, I am like an actual certified yoga teacher. So, and I have taught yoga. I've taught classes. I taught in Mexico, and I taught, here in the States and all kinds of stuff. So in the States, I'm like talking like I'm in Mexico. So, but anyway, I have taught classes, and I love to share yoga with people. So I know the healing benefits of it. So from my own experience. So it's all about experience. So yeah, so that's that about the yoga. And then on to today's topic. Okay, so this is what I wanted to, finish off this week with. This whole week was about experiential avoidance. Okay, so we talked about the pain that we are avoiding. So the experiences that we're avoiding that there's a pain there, right? So when we start a diet, how we feel left out, how we feel deprived, how we feel when Che mentioned it, as we're having, the pain of cravings and hunger, right? Craving carbs. That's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of been a long day, so anyway, but yeah, the pain of having to experience like the cravings for carbs and sugars and things like that, right? I know like getting started the first 3 days can be pretty intense. So, but that said, if you're drinking the tea, okay, and I know from personal experience too, because I've done it both with and without, but if you're drinking the tea, it shouldn't be as intense as without. So drinking the tea or taking Resolution 20, and if you really wanted to knock it out of the park, you'd be doing the NutriBurst too, because you'd be getting all the vitamins and nutrition and everything that you need and keeping your body functioning at its optimal level, so you're not being thrown out of whack with all this like hormone stuff and like crazy hunger cravings and hunger and cravings and all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, so we were talking about that. Okay, we're talking about how to that we're avoiding those pains, and then what is that doing to our lives? Like, what is the consequence of avoiding that pain? What are we missing out on? How is it narrowing our lives? How is it making our lives smaller, and less is available to us, less and less opportunities, less and less of the things that we really want to be doing, like running with our kids or fitting into a tiny little black dress. I know I go around putting that stuff all over my walls and stuff, but, and I don't do it to brag. I do it because I know when I was at 235 pounds, how bad I wanted to be able to put on that little black dress and take photos and feel confident and just feel like yeah, like I know how bad I wanted to do that. So if you see me doing that, like posting it and sharing photos of me in little skirts and dresses and stuff, it's not because I'm like boasting or like, look at me. It's like, no, girl, like I know how bad I wanted that. So I'm sharing that it's possible. I'm sharing that it can be done. I'm sharing that, look, I was at 235. Now I'm in this little tiny black dress looking good, looking like, yeah, I'm rocking it, Okay, I lost connection for a minute. But yeah, so okay, so we have this pain that we're avoiding, right? So our lives are becoming more and more narrow the more we avoid touching that pain, right? Like hot coals. It's like we go to start a diet and that pain comes and we're like, ooh, I'm out. or the whole fuck it thing, or like, can't do it, won't do it. And so what is the option there? And like I said, we have been under this impression that there's only been two options for us, either to fight it and put up our fists and listen to motivational stuff and go crazy with the positive thinking and just drive ourselves like high, like keep ourselves on a high so that we can achieve our weight loss goal, right? Either that, so it's either that with willpower and discipline, whatever the temptation is to break your diet. So we've only had those two options, right? And so tonight I'm revealing that third option. And actually I've already given it to you. I've given it to you at the beginning of this challenge. I said, carry this with you and you'll come to understand it as we go. And still, you'll need through to the end of this challenge, these next 2 weeks that are coming, to really fully understand it. But we're coming closer to the explanation of how that's going to work. So at the beginning, I gave you the metaphor of to ride your cravings like a wave, to have that experience come into you and to ride with it and to watch it, right? So tonight I wanted to talk about how that works, how we do that, and sort of like how it works, how we do that, and what is the perspective there, like what is the approach to that pain, right? The very first thing that I want you to understand here is that I am not ever telling you to put up with or deal with the pain. Okay, let's make that extremely clear here. It is not about putting up with or dealing with the pain. Okay, so wipe that out. Like, don't even go there with it. I am not telling you, you just have to, because that would fall into the category of willpower and discipline. If I'm telling you, you just need to kind of put your big girl boots on, and get out there and do your shit, I'm not telling you to do that, okay? So let's be clear on that. Not ever telling you to just put up with or deal with the pain, like just to pony up, get out there, do your diet, and stick to your plan and lose your weight. I'm not telling you that, okay? There is another way. So this is some cool stuff that I'm going to talk about here. Ironically enough, okay, if you can approach your pain, say you start a diet and you're feeling like these thoughts and cravings in your body to eat carbs, right? You started on the Fat Loss for Real diet plan and you're craving carbs the first 3 days, okay? You're drinking your tea and stuff, but they're still there, right? Because they will be. Not as intense as if you didn't have your tea. So you better have your tea anyway, because if you're in this 30-day challenge, you should have your tea. It's part of the requirements. So you're drinking your tea and you're starting the diet, and here comes all these cravings. And here comes all these thoughts that I can't do this, not right now, this isn't the best time in life. All of this stuff starts to come up, okay? If you can understand that the mind is designed to do that, one, the mind is designed to be negative. It is part of like our primal nature, is for the mind to be looking for that fight or flight situation, right? But if you can understand that, and then you can look at the mind with a curious eye, and you can accept the presence of those uncomfortable thoughts and feelings, just recognize them as what they are, thoughts and feelings, uncomfortable as they may be, and accept their presence and still carry on with what you need to do. That is how you're going to be able to progress forward. So there's a lot of different exercises and metaphors and things that I want to share with you guys that's going to help you to kind of like paint a bigger picture, or paint it like a clearer picture of how that works. But I'm just kind of laying it out rough right now. And the more we go through, the weeks ahead, it's going to all tie together, and then you'll have a bigger, clearer picture of how the whole thing works together and how it all, turns into like this little practice that you can carry with you and be able to get through these moments where you're kind of tested by that, right, when it comes up. So a really cool, let's see, which metaphor do I want to give you guys right now? Because, okay, which one was it that I was going to give you guys? It was the, this is for, well, I'll get back to that. I'll get back to the metaphor, but anyway, so what's happening though, what we want to do is make the pain manageable, okay? What we want to do is not have you have to face that such intense pain, right? Like such intense pain that you're just freaking out, you're stressing out. So what's happening when we are avoiding the pain, here's where it gets like really good, guys. When we're avoiding the pain, we're actually creating more pain for ourselves. Because what we're doing when we're avoiding is we're saying, I don't want it. We're saying, I don't want this, I don't like it. And what is that building? That's building anxiety. So now you have this pain, this discomfort, but you also have anxiety added on top of that pain and discomfort that you have. And now you're really worked up. Now you really can't handle what you're going through because it's really weighing on you and getting heavy. So when we approach it with openness, with acceptance, with saying, yes, I'm feeling this feeling in my body, just as it is, and with a curious eye. So this means looking at it, and this is what we're going to get into with the yin yoga practice, is looking at those discomforts in your body with a curious eye and just being in the present moment with them. So turning a curious eye towards whatever craving you're having, whatever thoughts you're having, and just stepping back and looking and watching and observing just to see what's going on, like a curious person. Like you just walked down the street and saw something happening and you're like, oh, what's this? You know, what's going on? So that gentle accepting of the presence of that discomfort that's there in your body, and witnessing it and watching it and allowing it to be there. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to rearrange it. You don't have to get rid of it. And this is the cool part. And this is cool, but it's also something I'm going to have to explain, because what happens, ironically enough, what happens when you just allow it to be there, when you don't fuss and fight with it, try to change it, rearrange it, get rid of it, any of that, what happens is that it actually dies down by itself, because now you take the anxiety off. So that just shaves off a whole world of pain. The anxiety is off because you're allowing it to be there. So now you're not freaking out about it. You're not saying no to it. You're not saying, get out of here, I don't want this, get out of me, which I'll talk about in a minute, is next to impossible. Is impossible. It's impossible. Not even next to. It's impossible to make something bad feeling or thought to just absolutely leave you, like completely leave you. So you take off that anxiety, and now you're left with just that feeling. And then when you bring your awareness to it, it will either go way, way down, or will dissolve completely. Even the thoughts. Because what happens when you resist a thought? And this is what I wanted to get into. What happens when you resist that thought? You have to think about whatever it is that you're saying you don't want and you don't want to feel, you have to think about it. So you're just reinforcing the thought and the feeling about it when you're thinking that you want to get rid of it, but actually thinking that you don't want it and you're pushing it away and resisting it actually makes it bigger and makes the thing bigger, the thing more powerful, right? So when you allow it to be there and accept its presence, it actually dissolves. But you cannot trick your brain with this. You guys gotta try this, okay? And I'll be giving you, like, we'll do the yin yoga tomorrow and you'll see. But you can't like secretly be like, oh, I accept it, but really you're feeling like you're like freaking out and you hate it and you want it gone. You can't trick your brain with it. But if you really become more flexible and open to the experiences that you're having, which yin yoga is going to really show you that. I'm really excited about bringing that to you guys. But it will either go way, way down or dissolve completely. And that is how you will be able to carry this with you, not need it to go away or get rid of it. It will become manageable or go away altogether, so you can get to the doing of what is most important to you, which is to stick to your diet plan and to lose weight, which has a whole world of other things attached to it, right? That's just the smallest part of it. We're talking about you as a parent. We're talking about you and your relationships. We're talking about you and your career. We're talking about you and your spirituality, you and your place in society, your place in, whatever different roles in your life, right? This is just one small thing, but that is something extremely important to you because of all those things, right? And to yourself, right? For yourself, for your own personal happiness and your own personal satisfaction and fulfillment in life, right? So that is what we're working towards. Becoming more flexible, becoming more open, becoming more accepting of those experiences inside of ourselves. And like I said, ironically enough, it actually tones them way down, if not wipes them out completely. But you can't trick yourself into it. You can't be like, oh, yes, I'm accepting that I'm feeling a craving right now, but really inside you're like freaking out and don't want it, because that will add the anxiety and create even more of a problem, right? It will just build on it and create more problems for you. So yeah, I did have a metaphor I wanted to give you guys. That's really good. Let me grab, sorry, I'm gonna blind you with my light over here, but let me grab this. Let's see, I'm gonna grab my laptop because I had some notes that I wanted to share with you guys. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to tell you guys about, is that the problem with us resisting our thoughts and emotions and pain and things that we're experiencing, right? Resisting those, like the experiential avoidance, right? When we're doing that, the problem is, guys, is that we cannot change or clean up or throw out our thoughts, feelings, emotions, body sensations like cravings and hunger. We cannot just simply like if you have a dirty rag laying on the counter, you can pick it up and throw it in the wash and change it and make it nice, right? You can do something about it. You can clean it out, right? But the difference here is that you can't do that with your thoughts, emotions, and body sensations. You cannot control them, like we talked about controlling the weather, right? You cannot permanently change, rearrange, or control what thoughts, emotions, and body sensations are going to come into your body. You can't. And you'll just drive yourself insane. And I've talked about this a lot, but you'll drive yourself insane trying to micromanage all of it, right? Because it cannot be done. It cannot be done. And actually, the more that you try to like I said earlier, the more you try to like change it, rearrange it, get rid of it, don't want it, you're like putting up red flags and saying no. The more you do that, the more you add anxiety to it, and the bigger the problem becomes for you. The more you avoid it, the worse it gets, and the more of it that you have, right? So when we accept and embrace and become more flexible, oh, this is the one that I wanted to tell you. So think of this. Think of that you're gonna throw a Christmas party. Okay, it's around that time. So you're gonna throw a Christmas party, and you have all your relatives and maybe even some close friends and stuff coming to your Christmas party. Okay, and there's that one uncle of yours that is a real pain in the ass, right? You just can't stand how he acts, and every time he's around, everybody's irritated and nobody's having fun. Okay. Think of this Christmas party inside yourself, okay? Everyone's coming, but your annoying uncle, cravings and hunger, is coming to the party too. He has to come, right? There's no way around it. But there's two ways that you can handle that annoying uncle coming to your party. One he can come and you can be annoyed the whole time that he's there. You can be annoyed and not enjoying yourself, not connecting with your friends and family because you're just pissed off the whole time that your annoying uncle is there. And you're just focused 100% on him and how annoying he is and how you wish he wasn't there. All the while you're missing this whole party and everything that you could be getting on with, right? So the second option is to embrace how your uncle is and be willing to have him say, sure, come on, you come, we're having a party too. You come too with all your annoying stuff, you know, how much you bug everybody. All right, just come on, let me get you some food. Let's get you a drink, you know, like, how you doing? Missed you, love you, you know? What do you think the annoying uncle is going to do? What is his response? And actually, when you're resisting him, what is he doing? He's doing even more. He's bugging even more. He's even more annoying. He's even more in everybody's face. He's being a pain in the ass. It gets worse. But when you invite him in and you offer him some food, offer him a drink, and make him feel welcome and all this stuff, even with all his annoying stuff, what do you think that uncle is going to actually end up doing? He's actually going to end up kind of chilling out and like, maybe he's still a little annoying, but he doesn't really have anyone to mess with because nobody really cares about how annoying he is. And maybe he just doesn't really bother anyone. In the meantime, you're enjoying yourself, you're enjoying the party, you're connecting with everybody, you're getting on and doing what's important to you, regardless of what annoying uncle is doing. You could care less, and you love him and everything's good. You see the difference? And we can behave the same with our cravings and hunger. We can invite them in for tea. We can say, yes, come on in. I am feeling you right now. I am feeling cravings. There is a craving. There's a feeling of hunger. There's a thought that I can't handle this. I'm having that thought. Okay. And then still do what you need to do, but with acceptance of their presence, right? With acceptance. So next week, we're going to get into talking about, I don't really want to give away too much. So next week, that's just in a few days here, we're going to get into talking about the next thing that's going to tie into this and how that becomes more and more possible for you to do that. Because I know at this point you might be like, Angie, you're crazy. Like those cravings, girl, I don't want to go anywhere near that. You know, when I'm like having a rough day and there's all kinds of pizza and Christmas cookies and everything all in my face and chocolate. It's like the time of the year for, you know, snuggling up with some comfort food. Like, girl, I don't want to hear about dealing with cravings, you know? And like I said, we're not dealing with it. We're never talking about dealing with or putting up with, because that falls into the category of discipline and willpower. So this is how you're losing weight without discipline and willpower, okay? It's about openness, flexibility, psychological flexibility, being more willing to have. I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag. we're gonna get into willingness. We're gonna get talking about willingness next week, okay? But don't let all this like talk about acceptance and willingness like scare you, okay? It's all good. It's all good, and it's all gonna like lead to a positive, good thing. So, you know, obviously it helped me to shed over 80 pounds. So it's just, you know, magical stuff that I'm bringing to you guys. So really pay attention and, you know, take notes and do the exercises. If you haven't done from the past couple of weeks, you know, feel free at any time, go back, do them. If you did them already, but you feel like you didn't really like get it down, then go back through it, and do them again, however many times you want to do it. And then, also, I posted here in the group today the whole Beyond the Struggle course. So that Beyond the Struggle course dives really deep into this whole acceptance and commitment therapy stuff that I'm talking about here in the 30-day challenge. Okay, so I am going, you know, deep into the different concepts week by week. But the Beyond the Struggle course is pretty lengthy and goes pretty deep. So you can put that on, like I said, when you're in the shower. I do that. I'll listen to personal development stuff or trainings or whatever while I'm in the shower, or while I'm cooking, or while I'm doing laundry, or anything that I'm just kind of like standing around when I could have like good stuff going in my ears to help me. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I know everybody's super, super busy with the, with Christmas approaching. So, you guys stay connected with me, and, I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys about tonight's video. Leave your comments here. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you've ever heard anything like this, or if this is the first time that you're hearing this, let me know in the comments. Maybe put hashtag first time if this is the first time you're hearing this kind of stuff, okay? Hashtag first time. And then, or if you've heard it before, then do hashtag heard it, okay? So I will connect with you guys inside the group. I'm gonna hop over and bump you guys in the chat, and I'll connect with you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be on to do the yin yoga class. I might do it live, or I might do pre-recorded, I'm not sure. Either way, it'll be up for you guys. That'll just be like mellow. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with it. I'm just gonna get on and do a yoga class for you guys. So just be the yoga teacher that I am and get on and do it. So, so anyways, you guys have an awesome evening, and I'll catch up with you guys. Okay, bye for now.